Welcome to Random Topics, the show where we make a half-hearted attempt to infotain you with semi-interesting, unrelated random topics in the categories of arts, science, history, and geography. I'm Mac.
I'm Chris.
And today's topics are, in arts, we have Mr. Potter's Museum of Curiosities.
In science, Taco Bell beef.
History is bloodletting in Mesoamerica.
And in geography, Rogers Pass.
Well, we'll get to all that in just a second, but first, what are we drinking, Chris?
We are drinking Revelation Stout, which is a nice stout made in the state of Missouri, in St. James, which is somewhere in Missouri.
The kids call it St. Jem.
St. Jem, I guess, is the word on the nickname for it.
I want to talk about Mr. Potter's Museum of Curiosities.
I want to hear about it.
Well, Walter Potter was an English taxidermist in the 18 and 1900s in Victorian England. He was noted for his museum, which was called Mr. Potter's Museum of Curiosities. He exhibited dioramas of mounted animals mimicking human life. He made his first one when he was 19 years old in 1861, called The Death and Burial of Cock Robin. In this diorama, he used 98 species of British birds. Crazy much? That's a lot of dead birds. Some of his others include Rabbit School, which had 48 rabbits writing on slates. Rat's Den being raided by local police rats. Guinea pig cricket match. He also, I think later in his career, as he got more and more crazy working with dead animals, he started making some bizarre things like two-headed lambs and four-legged chickens and other kind of abominations. You can't see it now, unfortunately, except in pictures, because the collection was dispersed in 2003. And had I known about it at the time, we'd have a four-legged chicken sitting right here.
Maybe we can sort of Kickstarter to get that all together again.
I should put up a saved search on eBay so I get alerted if any of Mr. Potter's works become available. If you could taxidermy something, what would it be, Chris?
You know, I don't really know. I don't know. I don't really like animals very much.
So, a human being?
I don't know. Maybe if my cat dies.
Yeah.
And someday I think, where's my cat? Why isn't she bothering me right now? And then I could be like, oh, yeah.
That's what I've always thought. It's like, oh, you can like pet, but like they, spray like whatever on the fur. Like it's not going to feel natural. It's going to feel gross and weird.
Yeah. So I don't know.
But don't let me dissuade you. You should totally try it.
Okay.
But you should do it yourself. Don't like.
I don't know how to
take your cat to a taxidermist. I'm sure there's like a instructable for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
I'll look into it. You know what? Something else that you could look into is when you're eating Taco Bell. What are you eating?
When I'm eating Taco Bell, indeed.
Yeah, or maybe just something about it. So obviously, there have been a lot of rumors over the years about what's in the Taco Bell, the meat, the quality of it.
Yeah, the grade D beef.
Yeah, that's a rumor, okay? Yeah. Because a few years ago,
USDA probably doesn't even have a grade D, right? It's like grade A or it's not.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know a lot about regulations in that area. But Taco Bell did post a recipe on their website a few years ago, and it said that it's 88% premium beef, like no different from what you would buy for yourself at the store. And then also 12% signature recipe, which includes some somewhat scary sounding names, but they're really normal things like soy lecithin. It sounds like, what is that? It's a binding agent. It's pretty common in like salad dressing.
Yeah, and it's tasty.
I don't know if it is. Also, maltodextrin, which is something. Trehalose, which is like a sugar.
Yeah.
I'm really doing a good job here. Oats sodium phosphate for texture. And lactic acid for flavor.
For texture, in case you don't like the ground beef texture.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's been around for a little bit longer than you would keep your beef.
To me, that's just confirmation that there's something wrong with the beef. They have to add some sort of like texturing element so that it has more of a familiar texture to you than real beef.
I don't know. Maybe it's to maintain the same texture. There might be more variation. I think the one thing that was weird was like the black pepper flavor.
Yeah.
That
As
was kind
opposed
of
to
weird.
black pepper.
Yeah, but they say that, you know, people ask like, how do you get your food to be so cheap? And they said, well, because they buy like 290 million pounds a year, they get a good discount.
Yeah.
And, you know, like one of my favorite things is to get the cheesy gordita crunch, which does have the Taco Bell beef in there. So I feel better about it now, I guess. I don't know. I try not to think about it usually.
You're a little bit biased. I think you're very eager to give the benefit of the doubt to Taco Bell here.
Well,
Let's shift gears
yeah.
and talk about bloodletting, which is purely coincidental that we moved from Taco Bell beef to
Yeah, they're both health
bloodletting.
related.
Yeah. But when I say bloodletting, we're talking here about ritualized self-cutting or piercing that served ideological and cultural functions in Mesoamerica. Do you know what Mesoamerica is?
No.
That's kind of like the general term for sort of the area of Mexico and Central America, where the Aztecs and the Maya and the Olmecs, Toltecs, a lot of these early civilizations were. And most of these societies were into the whole bloodletting thing. They thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's probably not quite what you would think. It was performed in public by elites, settlement leaders, and religious figures. The idea was that the gods gave life to humans by sacrificing their own god blood. And by doing so, there was god blood in these elite people. And so those people needed to give blood back to the gods. And they usually did this by piercing their tongue or their genitals. They scattered the blood either on the ground or by catching it on paper and burning it so that the blood would be vaporized and float up to the heavens in the smoke. They used obsidian blades, stingray spines, shark's teeth, and my favorite, barbed wire made of thorn. Seems pleasant.
Yeah. And so everyone would like gather around to watch this.
Yeah, they did it like in the public square. What are the circumstances necessary to get you to pull barbed wire through your tongue in front of an audience?
Well, I guess if I had good reason to believe that like the gods would like it, that would be important.
What if
factor.
What if I just told you that the gods would like it?
Yeah.
Would you do it on this show?
On this show?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Oh.
I don't know. What beer are we drinking in that show?
It's something a lot stronger
Yeah.
than this.
Maybe some straight liquor. And then that way I can also like disinfect maybe.
Yeah. I think it would sting. Like,
yeah, but I don't
lot.
want to get infected also.
Yeah.
Would it help with that?
I don't know.
Okay. We should do more research into this. I don't think I will do this, but there's like a point something percent.
But if we say that maybe you will, then people might continue to watch our show
there's a good
in the
chance I
hopes of
won't,
seeing some kind of crazy mayhem.
Yeah.
Let's move on to geography. I'm sure it'll be just as interesting.
Yeah. So one thing that I like to think about is during the winter, and I look outside and I look at the forecast, like why is it so cold here? Why have people chosen to live here?
Yeah.
In the upper Midwest.
Yeah, here is Wisconsin.
Yeah.
For people who are in Miami, they're like, what are you talking about?
Cold,
It's beautiful.
What? Winter?
Yeah.
But so I looked into the place that had the coldest recorded temperature in the lower 48 states, which is Rogers Pass in Montana.
What do you have against Alaska and Hawaii?
I don't know. I didn't want to skew it too much because they're
outliers.
Kind of separate.
Yeah.
They're pretty far away from the rest of the states. But in 1954, they did have a 70-degree Fahrenheit below zero day recorded.
Wow.
Anyway, though, it's named after this guy, A.B. Rogers. He was a surveyor. He also has a pass named after him in British Columbia.
Okay.
And
that's in Canada.
Yeah. So he's like, pretty legit. He has two passes named after him. He just goes by his two initials.
He really got around.
Yeah. Maybe someday I can have just one mountain pass named after me. I don't need two. I'm not greedy like this guy. And I would use my regular name, just Chris. Chris Pass.
You wouldn't go by like CD?
No.
That's it for us for today. Thanks for watching. As always, like us. Whether you like us or not, like us. Comment, send us hate mail.
Yeah.
Share us with your friends.
And on Facebook, there are the other things now too that aren't just
Are there?
likes. Yeah, there are other.
I hate
types
to
of
admit,
things.
I don't have a Facebook account.
Yeah, so you can do other things too. Whatever those are, do those too, as long as they're
Yeah.
positive, or even if they're
Or negative.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.